This is Big Leagues Country Roads Rankins. Yoo-hoo!
Hello again, everybody. Welcome inside OH Report World Headquarters in Mansfield, Ohio. I am Travis Big League Berardi, and that is Brian Slow Dance Skowronski. Do you like slow dance? I mean, is that something we want to keep with it, or give you something else?
That's not normally my style on the dance floor. I like to cut it up a little bit harder.
I just remember the first episode you were dancing, so that's why I said,
But hey, sometimes you just gotta get into that mode, that zone, so I'll slow it down a little bit for you folks.
Well, we're getting back into football mode here. Football Thursday night tonight. Ooh. As Mohawk Calvert will be at that game along with the WQEL crew. We have Crestview and Loudonville, and then we have a highlight at Lexington, Ontario. I can't believe football is back. It feels like I only took a 5-week vacation.
Because that's all it was with the schedule moved up. Everybody is kind of scrambling right now. Less practice time for all these athletes. And here we go, man. Week 1 is upon us, going down right now.
And we were debating if we wanted to do this, but hey, why not? We're going to give you some preseason Country Roads rankings, and I have a feeling by the end of this year there's going to be 7 or 8 new teams into this, but hey, we got to do it. We're media, and we like to stir the pot. So hey, let's just get right into it. And, our first team on the list at number 10 has to be our East Knox Bulldogs. They lose a lot from last year. They did finish 10-3, made it to a regional semifinal, but hey, down there in Bulldog country, they had that taste of a KMAC championship. They've had taste of a playoff run, a state Final Four only a couple years ago as well. So, you know what? Let's get them in the top 10 and see what they can do down there. At number 9, those Golden Knights of Northmore finished 9-3, had a chance of winning the KMAC. They were 8-0 going into Week 9. They dropped one to Centerburg at home, dropped one to Highland at home. That allowed East Knox to get a share of the KMAC championship. Lose a lot of pieces, but they do have Max Lauer back. I have a feeling he's going to have a big season. He's going to be one of the players that's going to have to carry this team. Now to number 8, and another KMAC squad, the Centerburg Trojans.
Wow,
the
KMACs.
And you see them at the bottom of the list because almost every school except for a team we may see later on in these rankings lost almost everybody, but they do get a couple key pieces back. Tyler Johnson at quarterback, he's a big athletic quarterback, and I think if he can get things going, Centerburg is going to have a decent season, and with 16 teams in the playoffs, 5 wins probably can get you a playoff game. Now to number 7, the Colonel Crawford Eagles. 10-2, fell in the second round to a very, very good Crestview squad. They were fighting Cary for a Northern 10 championship. That was their lone loss in the regular season. They have a lot returning. Our condolences out to Coach Tegg's family after, and the Crawford family as well. Just a terrible loss, but sometimes that's motivation. And I think Colonel Crawford, they're gonna have a decent year. Never know, might even make it in the playoffs if they can get some big wins down the line. But I think they're one of those teams that has the chance of doing big things, and we'll see them against the East Knox, along with the WQEL's squad live and free right here on the OH Report coming up here in a few weeks. Now to number 6, Mohawk. That team we will see tonight. They finished 5-6 last year. I did a highlight of their Thursday night game, and they took care of the Senecas of Tiffin Calvert, and we'll see if they can go up to Tiffin and take care of business. But they returned some big playmakers, Zane Fry being one of them, and that he could carry them to at least a finish in the top of the Northern 10 this year, and maybe another a playoff appearance and a over 500 appearance. But we'll have to see. It starts tonight for the Mohawk Warriors. Now to the top 5. At number 5, St. Paul.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of talent in this top 5. So St. Paul, you're thinking, wow, this St. Paul squad, they lost to Crestview. They usually only lose 1 or 2 games a year. Why do you have them at 5th? Well, because there's a lot of talent, and like I said, there's a lot of teams that have a chance of doing something. So St. Paul, number 5. Now to number 4, those Fredericktown Freddies. They are the team that has the most coming back in the KMAC. I think they are the team that has a chance of doing some special things this season. Tegan Rule at running back, Cade Carpenter at wide receiver. Finally, the quarterback got hurt earlier on. He's back, so they can actually put those pieces where they need to be. And with the numbers they have back, maybe another big run for them, and maybe a KMAC championship. At number 3, those Lucas Cubbies. 10-2 last year, another big run in the playoffs. And this squad just every single year, they're in it. And I have a feeling that once again, they start off against Clear Fork. You're going to be there live and free tomorrow night. Lucas, I wouldn't be surprised if they're at the top of the list at the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised even if they stay at number 3, because our top 2 teams may, just do things. And now at number 2, this is going to surprise you, Ski. The Cresty Cougars are second.
Okay.
12-1 last year. They fell. Their lone loss was to those Cary Blue Devils. But I will say this. To be the man, you've got to beat the man. And until this team is beaten, they're going to stay number 1, and that is the defending Division 6 state champion, Cary Blue Devils. They lose a lot, but they had a lot of numbers back. And I know those kids up in Cresty, you're going noted. It's noted right now. Let's see. But, hey, show me on the field. This is the preseason rankings. Cary, they deserve to be number 1 because they were number 1 at the end of the year last year. Let's see them number 1 now. If they can win some games early on, hey, maybe to be a little bit of talk of, hey, this team might be able to repeat as N10 champions. This team may be able to make another run, but I know those guys at number 2, those Cresty Cougars, have something to say about it. So show me on the field. Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to turn this towards me just so I can get a clean look here. My only qualms with your top 10, at least at the bottom half, I think East Knox, because of the pedigree that they've shown out there, pun intended, with the Dogs, that they are a team that belongs in the top 10 preseason. I saw them in practice. They've got a lot of good, big guys. Cole DeLauder looks like he's ready to step up his game. Who's going to play quarterback for them? They didn't even know heading into their final jamboree last week. So that's going to be the only question mark for me. Can the Bulldogs find someone to replace Peyton Lester that can get the job done on a consistent basis? I don't think Northmore really probably belongs in the top 10. I'd rather see a team like Upper Sandusky that has way more kids coming back fill that void right there. Love Maxton Lauer, but what else do they really have? You never know. Some kids that were JV studs or coming up to the ranks that just haven't had their time yet could impress. But at least on paper, since it's a preseason ranking, I haven't seen the Golden Knights yet in person at practice or anything, but I probably would have left them off the list. Centerburg belongs. I love Tyler Johnson. He's going to be a D1 commit here really soon. We'll see what school he ends up deciding to go to. Colonel Crawford, I think, might be a smidge low on your list. Yeah. I would liken him ahead of Mohawk. Your whole, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Well, I think Colonel Crawford's taking care of Mohawk a few years in a row in that rivalry, so put the Eagles a little bit higher. St. Paul, properly rated. They always belong in your top 5.
Absolutely.
They're just one of those small school powers, even for D7. Definitely going to be a contender. Fredericktown is a team that, Freddy's fly. I got big expectations for them from hearing from K-Mac Trav that he really likes what he's seen from them. Talking to Hayden Gray, who took a trip down to practice and got an opportunity to see this team. I really think that they're going to be the K-Mac champions when it's all said and done, if somebody else can't find some pieces that can really come together and fit the puzzle.
Yeah, high expectations.
Lucas got to be in your top 3, no
Absolutely.
question about it. Cary's too high because you know what? It's cool because it's a preseason ranking and this means absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
But look at
that's
all
why
the
we debated
guys.
even doing this.
How many All-Ohioans did they just graduate? Like 3 or 4 of them? Like, come on, man. Like, I know that they brought back quite a few pieces, but the mainstays, the guys that we were talking to week after week during the playoff run, they weren't juniors and sophomores. They were all seniors last year. Cary, to me, may repeat as N10 champions, but they're not going to be anywhere near the top of the list at the end of the season.
You think Cresty will be at the top of the list at the end of the season?
I definitely like their chances a lot better than Cary.
I think I keep saying this, the only thing that can get in the way of Crestview is themselves. Overconfidence. Don't be overconfident. I believe they have the chance of being something. And maybe, hey, this will be bulletin board material for them to do that. But like I said, you're on the top at the end of the season. You haven't played anybody or anybody hasn't played you. Why not start at least at the top? Those Cary Blue Devils, Cary, baby.
Hey, we love them, man. They got a big piece of my heart after that playoff run we got to follow them for. But again, the kids that I remember that I was talking to after the games, they're all gone now. They're not there anymore. They don't have the bowling ball in the backfield. They don't have the senior leadership under center. They don't have the All-Ohioan in the secondary. So we'll see. Hey, prove something to me, Cary.
All right, well, that does it for the preseason Country Roads rankings. We will have this every week for you, so we'll see. Maybe 3/4 of the teams here losing week 1. We'll have 5 or 6 more teams making their way into the top 10, but that's the great thing about it. Who knows? So stick with us. A lot of live streams coming up this weekend Football, it's back, baby. And we'll be back
Can't
next
wait.
week.